Hey guys, Derek here, Car 839, and today we're talking how to do the brake pads. So I'm going to do a separate video on the actual performance of the Gray Area KTM brake pads versus what I had on the stock. I got into this one, it's a little more complicated than I thought, so I said, hey, I'll do a how-to video and save everybody a bunch of time and effort. So let me get on it. I'll show you what tools you're going to need and a little bit about the brakes. If you're an experienced speed mechanic and know a better way to do this, let me know and I will change it up and make the video better, but this is what I found out. So tool-wise, here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 1/2-inch socket. Get a better ratchet than this crappy one that I've got in my my traveling toolbox, but 1/2-inch socket, I got a short extension on it. You're gonna need a 5mm and a 6mm Allen wrench and a screwdriver. So when you pull the wheel off, and I've got this janky jack set up, just so you know, I've got a safety jack stand under the car so it's not going to fall on me, but here's where we need the 3 different bolts. So you've got the bolt here, top and bottom, that hold the whole setup to the car, and then you've got these 2 pins here that the outer brake pad runs in, and then you've got 2 more pins here that run through the brake pad. You can see it here, both of your brake pads are going to have those holes that it's going to run through. These guys aren't too tight. This guy's in there pretty tight. I recommend that you loosen these ones while it's still bolted to the car. Now, I'm probably gonna get in trouble from somebody on this, but it's how I compress the calipers. I just wedge a screwdriver in there and I just pull against it, and I want to compress the caliper before I remove it, and you'll see it come on there. I got 2,200 miles on mine, and they are pretty worn. So we've got it there. And then I'm gonna loosen these guys here. We're gonna go with that one. These aren't too tight. Wanna make sure you're all the way in with them. There's that guy there and the bottom one here. Hey guys, I'm on the back wheels now, and they're a little bit easier if you wanna start there. There's a lot more room to work with and get familiar with things. But here is my, on the fronts, I was taking both of these off, and that's not necessary. You're just gonna crack one of them loose is all that I needed to do. I'm gonna take one of those off and the pad will fall out and the other one can stay there, so you don't even have to mess with that. So I've got them loose. And then I'm gonna break these guys loose back here. Okay, I've got the caliper off. I finished compressing the pistons there, and all I'm gonna do is, these guys here are just hand tight. I'm gonna pull these pins out. I'll show you what this guy looks like. So this is just a locating pin for the brake pads. It's what's holding them in. So once the threads come out, we're gonna pull it out, and that's our locating pin. Do the same thing on the other side. On the beach, and got a little salt on them, it looks like, and a little mud. I'll clean these up a little bit before I put it back together. Doesn't look like there's any Loctite on these guys here. Get our bigger one. I'm holding the camera with my knees here, so. These guys slide in and out here. And so on the other side, this one, I believe this has got, okay, you can see it here. It's got a flat spot on it. So when it just rotates, and then when it comes apart like this, you're gonna have to rotate that back into that flat spot to get it to go back in. And I believe the flat spot would be on, you can see it here. It's on the bottom side of that bolt hole. So here's my side-by-side comparison. You can see this guy is pretty smoked, and we're down to nothing. Like I said, I'm about 2,200 miles in there, and you can see they've come apart. These guys, brand new, got some material on them. All we're gonna do is we're gonna take these and we're gonna pop them back in place. And at the top of this, there's retaining clips, and you gotta go all the way up against the caliper and into that retaining clip, and on the other side you got to come all the way up against the caliper and get it in there. Otherwise it catches on these little tabs and won't close up properly. So I've got them back in, and you're just gonna push it in up against the clips. And I've only got one hand, I can't do this, but I'm gonna put this guy back on right here. And I'm just gonna leave everything kind of loose. Once I get everything in, I'll tighten it up. So these just guys go in here, and you're just gonna wiggle them until you, and adjust the pads until you get it in the hole properly. Okay, got them all lined up. I'm just gonna thread these guys in. So I got all those just finger tight. I'm now gonna bolt the caliper back on, and I'll tighten them up. They weren't super tight, they're just, you know, firm. The ones on the back, I'm gonna put a little Loctite on before I put those in and make sure that they're nice and firm and tight. Those are the ones that were really torqued on heavy. Okay, got the caliper all torqued back on to where it should be, and I'm just gonna tighten these guys. I'm just tightening them, you know, firm. There we go. Put this guy in here. Firm. Just take a look at everything and make sure that it lines up right. And then before you put the wheel on, I'm gonna go in and push the pedal a few times to make sure that everything's seated up all right. Okay. There we go. So I hope that helps you. That's the front brake calipers. And if you don't have to figure it out the first time you watch this video all the way through, you're about 15-20 minutes a wheel is my guess on it. So good luck with that. I'll put the link for Gray Area KTM for the brake pads and anything else in there in the description. There you go, Midas.